how is our program different from the other two programs? Well, or the other two universities. First of all, it's number one, as I said, led by the industry. So this program has been determined by the industry. Now, it's not to say it's not academic. It has to comply with all of the credit points that Higher Education Commission tells us we must do. So it's a proper academic program. It's 3 years program. It's also supported fully as a result of approval by HEC, fully supported both in scholarship as well as student loans by the TSLS. So the tertiary loans and scholarship scheme. So it's fully supported by them as well, which means that our students are covered by, they don't have to pay for it themselves, they're not private students, they're covered by scholarships. So that is a really positive aspect of this particular program, because you don't need to be a private student to do it. You can apply for, it's one of the national priority areas of the government, let's put it like that, under the former development plan. And in fact, that development plan is still current, although I know that they're thinking of drafting a new one. But under the development plan of government, media and journalism is one of the national priority areas. Once it's determined as a national priority area, then the scholarship and loan scheme supports it. So this is why the journalism and media program is supported by TSLS and by the government. Now, the second important difference between ourselves and the other two media studies programs in the other two universities is that our students go into newsrooms, mostly newsrooms, from year one. So the industry then absorbs the students from year one. And I don't know whether Virisila is here, but she was one of our students who went right into the newsroom of the Fiji Sun, and within 3 weeks she had her own byline. And it was a very proud moment for us, because a byline, I know as a journalist, I had to work for 6 months before Vijendra Kumar, who was the editor at the time, would give me a byline. A byline, you know, media people know what a byline is, right? The rest of you may not know what a byline is. It says, this story by such and such, and the name of that person. So that journalist becomes well known as a result of the byline. We had our students, first year students, in the newsrooms, in the first year of their study, in the first 6 months of their study, and they were already getting a byline. So we were really proud of that, and that was something that proved to us that having the industry decide on the kind of program, or at least influence the program, that media people should have, paid dividends from the beginning. Because once you've been employed, you know, and they've got their allowances and so on, but once you've got employed in the newsroom from the very beginning, the chances are, you know, you've got a 3-year program, you go again at the news media, we change them around, they'll be sometimes in television, sometimes in Fiji Sun, other times Fiji Times, radio and so on. Then by the time you get to the end of the program, you're actually well versed in everything to do with media, and you're immediately able to hit the ground running, so that there's less effort put by the industry into training of that particular graduate. And that is another point of difference between ourselves and the other two universities, who go into internship in the final year of their training. But our internships and placements start right at the beginning. The third point of difference is that, and this is so for one of the universities, I think USP, but not very regularly, and that is that the students started their own newspaper called Uni-Fiji Watch. So along with Vimal Madhavan, who is online from Wales, and he'll be talking a little bit later as well, presenting something. He's on the program, the program's gone now. He's a sub-editor, he's trained, you know, from the beginning he's been a sub-editor. He was a journalist with the Fiji Times first, and then he became a sub-editor, and he's subbed his way all the way, and now he's retired and lives in Wales, but he was involved in helping the students fashion their own newspaper called Uni-Fiji Watch. And we will show, the next edition is coming out soon, we'll show the front page in a minute. So students started their own newspaper, Uni-Fiji Watch. And the final point of difference is a radio station that we had formed as a result of, in response to COVID, because, you know, when COVID happened, all the students had to go home, nobody could go into the campuses or anything like that, and there was no way to connect our community. So the way we did it, we decided, was to establish our own internet radio called The Vox. It's actually the Vox Populi, which means voice of the people. And so that's how we connected up the entire community, the students, the staff, and so on. We had an opening, we had a digital, launch, and it was a way of moving away from physically being in a classroom, which is already, difficult for most people not to be face-to-face, and online immediately. And so our education basically moved seamlessly from the physical classroom onto the radio space.